Nicole, does anyone understand the definition of fun on this show?
Pouring a drink on your bestie's fresh blowout. Verdict is full bitch move.
You know, I've heard, though, that throwing your friend's shoe into the ocean is a sign of loyalty in some cultures.
What about grabbing the veggie tray from everybody and throwing it in the ocean?
Okay, that is cause for immediate incarceration. Sorry, Jen Shaw.
This is episode 7 of Disengaging.
Our show recapping our spiciest takes on season 3 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm Julia Ritchie in Nashville, Tennessee.
And I'm Nicole Nixon in Sacramento, California.
Okay, so Nicole, we've missed a couple weeks, but as you so eloquently put it, we've been on day 1 of San Diego for 3 weeks as well. So,
yeah, we're all the same day here.
Seriously, we really haven't missed much because the last episode we did talk about is they're going to San Diego, and turns out they've been in San Diego for like 2 hours for the last 3 weeks. And yet
there's a lot of drama on day 1 of this trip.
There is a lot of drama. That is true. Although I guess there is a lot of drama on day 1. But I think like where I want to start is this week is the week where we saw the new cast members actually assert themselves and show some of their personalities. So the two, and they're not full-time cast members, we should say, but they're being featured. They're
angling to be.
Yeah, there's a acronym that the Real Housewives people use that's FOHW. So they're called like Friends.
Of the Housewives.
Yeah, there's like a little thing.
You've been doing your Housewives research.
I've been reading so much Housewives since we started this podcast. It's embarrassing. So Dana is the friend of, who is she the friend of? Meredith?
Heather. She's Heather's friend. She came to Heather's ski day first. And then she connected with Meredith there.
See, this is why we need 2 of us here. Because I was like, whose friend is she? How did she?
Where did Dana even come? She pulled off the street.
That's why we said the Mean Girls thing. Like, she doesn't even go here. Okay, well, she's a friend of Heather's. And then Angie K is Jen Shah's really good friend who has known Jen since college. We come to learn. So she's and she seems to be a little more featured this season than even Dana. So
right, she was in the first episode with Sharif's birthday party, and then she was at the ski day, and generally cavorting with Heather.
Yeah, and so where we
with Jen.
Where we are now is Angie K has secured this house in San Diego through a friend of hers. And Jen Shah is co-hosting, so to speak, with Angie K this girls' trip. And then Dana was invited by Meredith, who Jen was not thrilled about having because she called.
But she invited her, probably because the producers of the show made her.
Oh, yeah. No joke. You've actually got a little glimpse of that, like breaking the fourth wall again. She's like, and I invited you because they told me to. Like, she didn't say it, but she said it in so many words, you know? So I guess...
Angie Harrington, though, still not invited.
Oh, God.
But clearly very, like, she was upset about it. As we saw, I think, on Twitter this week, right?
I appreciated that scene of her in the bakery when she learns that she's not invited. And then she does the very, like, well, I can tell I'm not invited.
And then she, fully pouted.
Yes. So it seems as though Dana and Angie K are winning the hearts and minds of the producers of The Real Housewives. Angie Harrington, TBD. But she's good in her own, sneaky back way. So I had this question written down, which is, who is more powerful in this franchise right now, Dana or Angie K? And last week I would have been like Angie K, but this week I kind of feel like Dana rose up and
she
ascended.
I think it was
at the dinner table. It was at the dinner table. You know the moment.
Yeah.
The moment when Dana goes.
Exactly.
You can tell, like, because I've been there where I'm like, oh my God, she's so nervous. And you're like so nervous for her. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I've got to say it though. I've got to say my piece that Jen is really toxic. And the way you talk to your friends is not okay. And I was like, yes, girl, go. And I was like, oh my God, Dana does belong there.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. I was totally agreeing with you when Dana was nervous, said her thing, even called out Heather, putting her on the spot about saying a couple days earlier that if Jen ever gave her an ultimatum that she would be out. And, you know, we saw Heather kind of going back and forth with Jen the last couple weeks, and it seems they're like butting heads, but they're not doing it to each other's faces. So Dana forced them to turn and face each other and have their conflict maybe before they were ready to do it.
I loved that for her. And I loved how and she also made Heather snap.
She did. And I think she made Heather really worried at first too. I noticed the second she turned the attention on Heather, that her sunglasses came down. She got very quiet. She was trying to shut down until someone asked her a direct question, and she had to flip her sunglasses back up.
She also did
really get off the fence. She really had to shit or get off the fence.
I saw so many good Heather tweets this week that, this is who Heather was all along. If you didn't see it in season 1, now you're seeing the real Heather. Mm-hmm. Like, too much pressure for her. She's, cracking under the pressure, like all this stuff. And I was like, man, this franchise is good. Just when you're getting bored with it, you're like, oh no, like Dana came for Heather, and Heather is, you can just tell, one of those, like, like you mentioned, the passive aggressive, like, Mormon upbringing kind of thing. She has like this, like, how dare you call me out and embarrass me in front of, like, because she's saying something,
I mean, she had even told Dana earlier to choose her battles wisely, and basically told her not to get in any trouble this trip.
Yeah, and we were going to talk about that last week, how dark that was, that Heather was like, choose your battles wisely. It was like something out of, like, Star Wars. I was like, whoa, what?
Like veiled threatening warning.
Yeah, I was like, when did Heather go over to the dark side?
She's been there the whole time.
Apparently, there've been some Heather haters just waiting. You can just tell they're like, finally, I can hate on this woman. But that to me sealed that Dana is actually the MVP of this new cohort of Angie K, Angie H, and Dana. I'm on team Dana Banana.
I am too. I also feel like this show since season 1, there have been these cliques. Yeah. Maybe this is how all the Housewives shows are. But it was fun to get Dana, brand new blood, like not really experienced in direct conflict with a lot of these women, and just stir it all up a little bit. Love it. New blood.
Whichever producer said you got to invite this one, took a chance on her. Thank you. Thank you. Because you actually injected life into this season.
5 minutes into this episode, I was bored,
Yeah.
And the yacht fight, I was like, oh God, another one of these.
But
then, when Dana spoke up, I was like, oh, okay, I'll finish this episode.
I feel like the experience has been great so far, but I feel like the energy's off. Something's off, and I think we need to address it.
Who is the most ride or die of the friendships in this friend circle on this franchise? It's a lot of
that's hard because they've literally, every single one of them, at least the original 5, have had like pretty big falling outs in the last season and a half.
What I would have said is
3 seasons.
My season 1 ride or die, or season 2 maybe ride or die, would be Meredith and Mary. Those two are like thick as thieves. Meredith never once backed away from Mary, and I almost respect it, except that Mary definitely is still a cult leader. So
yeah. You know what? Okay, I will say, controversial answer. the most ride or die, even though they're going through a rough patch, Whitney and Heather, because Heather saved Whitney's shoe after Jen let the first one go.
That is a really good observation.
That's a deep, she still feels very deeply for Whitney. It's enough to save her shoe, even though they're fighting. That was a very
protective thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice the details. That's why you're a good journalist. Let me just give you a compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't, I wouldn't have said that for sure not just because of the rough patch, because I don't know. They don't seem like, to me, like two friends cut up. And I will say, Jen and Heather cut up really funny together. Like they have the same, like, when they turn up, they turn up. And I think I have a friendship like that with my best friend, Andrea. Like, we're always, like, turned up together. So I think I see the most genuine connection between those two, or at least did. But Jen's losing her marbles this season. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Jen's having a full, like, mental break on the yacht, and nobody noticed except Meredith.
Yeah, you're supposed to be my ride or die. And guess what? That's not ride or die characteristics, period. What do you want me to do? Not be friends with Angie Harrington. Okay, I'm not going to do that.
What, if I put you on the spot, are 3 characteristics of ride or die?
Oh, wow.
Because Jen Shah says Heather is not, like, exhibiting ride or die characteristics. So we need to describe for our audience 3 things.
I think, damn, I'm going to go back to the shoe. Caring about somebody to watch out for them, even if you're fighting. Shoe.
If you can give examples with each one from this franchise, you get extra credit.
Okay, there's one. Knowing that your friendship is solid enough that even if you're yelling, you can take a break from that to turn up and have a shot and dance on a yacht and then, like, dig into the real problems later in the evening around the dinner table. Number 3, giving your friend a bedroom that they're happy to stay in so that they go take a nap in the nicer bedroom and don't feel like they have to take a nap in the van, aka like sacrificing for your friend.
Wow, these are really great. So by that definition, Heather meets a 1 or 2. I don't think anyone agrees with Jen that you can only be friends with Jen and you can't be friends with her enemy. It's like, that's a childish way to behave. But, Jen Shah's going to Jen Shah.
Jen Shah, yeah, she wants to feel chosen. She wants to feel like the first priority, but it's not reasonable to ask.
Yeah.
To make ultimatums that way.
However, to her point, Heather does talk shit and has been really good at concealing it, and has people conceal it for her. And Dana is the first time that Heather has been exposed for the things she says behind people's backs.
Yeah.
Because she has so far not been that person. And you saw how Meredith hates being that person this season, and that, like, Whitney tricked her into talking shit about Lisa. That wasn't it. But I think the Heather is both a ride or die for Jen, but also isn't a ride.
She's two-faced. Like, she wants to be your friend and she wants to be your ride or die. She also wants to talk shit about you because she knows that you're talking shit about her.
Yeah. So and so you get that,
and that's the 3 out of 3 that's missing on ride or die.
Yeah.
Like, she's almost there, but not quite.
Yeah. This is good. This is going.
But let's turn it back on Jen. Is she a ride or die?
Oh no.
Exactly. But she fully expects Heather to be ride or die for her, but she's not willing to be ride or die for Heather.
So I'm actually excited maybe not excited is the right word, but I'm looking forward to seeing more accountability for Heather's sort of talking out of both sides of her mouth kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, to bring it back to our first segment, that then this wouldn't have happened without these new cast friends of the housewives, or whatever you want to call them, is like,
Yeah,
they are
because they stirred it all up.
They stirred it all up, but they're also bringing new accountability to housewives who so far skirted.
Yeah.
Some people are like, this is who Heather's always been. It's like, well, let's not get carried away. These are women playing a character for us, you know?
Yeah. Right.
But her character so far has escaped the scrutiny of some of the others. Fashion moments?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'll just do one. Shout out again to the RHOSLC fashion Instagram, because it's like a part of my like morning routine now is checking it.
Seriously. I love it. You can see the outfits in better detail, and you can see how much they cost, and that's just fun.
Yeah. But I saw this comment unfortunately was on Dana Bananas, but it said, personally not a fan of this look at all. She's wearing
Is it her confessional look?
No, it's the flowy like Vici dolls. Like it's a very beachy maxi dress with very normal looking flowers on it. Like it looks like something you would pick up at like, I don't want to say Target, but
TJ Maxx.
Yeah,
Ross.
Something like that. Which is, again, makes her more relatable. Again,
yeah. Yeah, and her handbag is $250.
Right. But this is the comment. SLC just doesn't give luxury a good look, aside from Lisa Barlow, which is like, that is so mean. Oh my God. Like,
that is mean.
I think there are like plenty of looks that I really like on this franchise, and always thought like some of the other franchises like Atlanta or even Miami, it's like no one dresses like that, but at least on the Salt Lake franchise they wear things that they would wear to like the ski, and it's not just a confessional look, because some of the other franchises,
they're like costumey, like these high quote unquote high fashion luxury looks. They just look,
but they don't
like
actually
they're playing a character, like they don't anywhere. Look good. Yeah. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are real. They're like actually working. Yeah, exactly. Except for Jen's like hat, houndstooth jacket. I feel like that is a outfit she would, I don't know, maybe she would wear that.
Yeah.
But I agree. I feel like Dana's fashion is not as luxury as the others, and it makes her feel more relatable, and I like that. But then I also feel like I watch these shows because these women are clownish, and Dana doesn't quite fit that bill. So
I love that
I'm a little torn.
I feel like Dana's challenging us in many ways this week. And
I know. I like it.
I want to meet her now. Like, you know,
she's breaking the mold in multiple ways. Yeah,
I know. I kind of want to be her friend. I did love this look, which was, it was, okay, everyone else is wearing some kind of luau-y thing, except for Lisa Barlow. Lisa Barlow is
just
wearing
her neon top and
a
neon jeans.
Jeweled jeans, and Maison Valentino bag. I want to know where the heels are from, because those are fabulous. They're like the same.
They're
neon
not tagged.
Green. Anyways, she's totally the odd one out at this luau.
I feel like Lisa doesn't. When Lisa gets a dress code for one of these dinners, she's just like, nah. I
love that.
She did that at the lingerie party too. She came out wearing silk pajamas. Like, she does not give a fuck about your theme.
She cares about fashion, though, and she always serves the look. Like, the woman knows how to dress. And so I did feel like if I was going to give the Fashion Moment of the Week award this week, it would go to Lisa Barlow totally blowing off the luau theme and going with this, like, saucy neon button-down denim jeweled jeans and high heels.
I love that. Yes. I did think Jen's luau look was beautiful, and I was admiring her hair and wondering suddenly where it went. And then someone was like, I'm going to bring Jen her hair.
That was funny. Oh, that was good levity at the end, though, you know?
Yeah.
This episode of Disengaging was produced by me, Julia Ritchie.
And me, Nicole Nixon.
And don't forget to find us and rate us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, and help us build our own Real Housewives recap media empire.
we're only supposed to talk gossip about the Real Housewives. You can't talk about gossip about the real people in our lives.
We really,
That would be the most boring show ever, is the real members of my household, which would be me and my dog.